Mr. Shanmugam also delivered the first comments by a Singapore leader on recent allegations that the country helped Western nations spy on its neighbours. He said Singapore does not come out to confirm or deny reports on matters of intelligence, and that Indonesia and Malaysia know that Singapore would not do anything to harm their interests.
Mr. K Shanmugam said the allegations, which appeared in an Australian newspaper earlier this week, were a rehash of a similar article that had appeared in August. This time round, he said the writer took a leave of license and liberty of mentioning Singapore in rather tenuous circumstances.
Timing is interesting. Just as relationships between Indonesia and Australia got to an interesting stage, then this article gets printed, and now gratuitously Singapore gets mentioned.
He said Singapore's position is not to comment on intelligence matters.
Even when the allegations are untrue, we never come out to deny them. Because you cannot be on intelligence matters coming out and saying this is true, this is untrue, or this is 5% true, that is 95% false.
He doesn't expect relations with Indonesia and Malaysia to be affected by the latest incident.
Because what we do, what Malaysia does, what Indonesia does is known to all of us. Nevertheless, there is such thing as domestic politics in all three countries. In domestic politics, you have people of various persuasions, different parties, and sometimes looking at someone outside and attacking that party can be, politically profitable.
Now, a large part of the dialogue was devoted to the current airspace dispute over the East China Seas. Mr. Shanmugam called for some degree of wisdom to prevail, even as countries are fueled by nationalism. The region has seen its share of territorial disputes.
These trends obviously are not helpful, and I'm not talking about the specific acts of one country or another, or declarations of zones. No, I'm not referring to that. I'm referring to the entire suite of developments. Our interests are very clear. We are a major air hub in Southeast Asia. We are a major seaport, one of the world's great seaports. The ability, freedom of navigation, freedom of air rights, these are fundamental to us and our interests.
China has sent warplanes into disputed airspace of the East China Sea after Japanese and South Korean military aircraft flew through the area without informing Beijing. The Chinese government has said that its newly declared air defense zone does not expand its territory and maintains that the zone is merely to safeguard the country's territorial airspace.